So, good morning, everyone. Uh, am I audible? Can Can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so welcome to our TIMO mock exam. So, I think this is just a review for you before taking the TIMO. Okay, so are you ready?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I think we are good to start. So, before we go to the questions, let me tell you some class rules. Okay. So, first, we have to mute our microphone. Okay. During the discussion. Okay. Only open your mic when you have something to say. Okay. And the second rule, be attentive and feel free to interact with the class. So always remember to use the chat box responsibly. Then the third rule, do not hesitate to ask questions. And lastly, refrain yourselves from bullying or discriminating your classmates. So are we good with that class rules? Okay. So there are some students who are not yet muted their microphone. Kindly turn any mute your microphone before we start. Okay. So now let's start. So for the problem number one, so find the average of the following eight numbers. We have there 2150, 2141, 2079, 2096, to 2134, 2120, 2075, and 2325. So what do you think is the answer? You can chat your answers in our chat box. Okay. And don't worry, this is just a review or a for mock exam. So what do you think is do you know the formula for the average of a certain numbers or set of numbers? Okay. So when we say average, so it is just the total sum over the number of items. Okay. For example, we have eight numbers, so the denominator will be eight. Okay. So there's some of you answering 2140, 2140. Okay. So let's see. So first, as what I said earlier, the formula for the average is just the sum over the number of items or number of how many numbers do we have? Okay. So we have the sum over eight numbers. So if we try to evaluate this one, we will have we have this one. So the answer will be 2140. Okay. I think most of you got it correct. Okay. Very good. So do you have any question about this problem? I think it's so easy for you, the average. So now we proceed to problem number two. So there are 18 red pens, 6 black pens, and 11 blue pens mixed together. So if you want to draw two pairs of red pens and two pairs of blue pens from the pile of pens at random, so at least how many pens need to be taken? So what do you think is the answer? I will give you some few minutes to answer this one. Okay. Some answered 26. There's some who answered 28.
Con đưa cái đó cho bố ấy con. Đây này. Con này.
Con lấy cho mẹ. Cái tao luôn. Hai cái phải tắt đi.
Okay. Let's answer this one. So in answering this one, you have to consider the worst case scenario. Okay. Then if in considering that, you cannot determine the least pens that need to be taken. Okay. So for this one, the the scenario, if you want to draw two pairs of red pens. So what do you mean by two pairs? So it means that we need four red pens. Okay. Then also we have two pairs of blue pens, so meaning we need to have four blue pens. Okay. So in order to answer this one, so we need to consider the worst case scenario. Okay. So for this one, we need to first consider the pens with the most number. Okay. So we have 18 red pens. The next will be the black pens, which is six black pens. And lastly, we have to consider the last, which is the blue pens. That's why we have four blue pens. So if we try to add those three, so we have an answer of 28. Okay. So the answer for this problem is 28. Okay. I think most of you got it correct. There's some do answer 26. So you lack two pens, two more pens. Okay. So be careful of the words that used in the problem. Okay. So when you say pair, meaning composed of two pieces. Okay. So do you have any questions for this problem? I think none so far. So now we proceed to problem number 3. Okay. So problem number 3. It requires 42 minutes to cut a piece of wood into 8 sections. If the time required to cut one piece of wood into two is the same, so the question, how many hours are required to cut a piece of wood into 15 sections? So you can only cut one piece of wood into two at a time. So what do you think is the answer? 84 minutes, 1.4 hours. So be careful on the question. So for this one, we're looking for the hours, okay? Not the minutes. So if you get the minutes, you need to convert it into hours. Okay. So there are some of you who answered minute. So you need to convert that one into hours. So for this one, since we given 42 minutes to cut a piece of wood into 8 sections. So when you say eight sections, so we have 8 pieces. But in cutting a wood, in order to get 8 sections, we need to have 7 cuts. Okay? So meaning, if we have 42 minutes to cut a piece of wood into 8, so we have 42 divided by 7 cuts. So meaning, in every cut, we take 6 minutes. Okay? So the question is, how many hours are required to cut a piece of wood into 15 sections? So how many cut do you think is that? 15 sections. So for this one, we have 14 cuts. Okay. So 6 times 14, then we divide it by 60. Why? Because the question is, we're looking for the number of hours. Okay. Not minutes. So some of you answer 84 minutes, which is correct. But for this question, we look for the number of hours. That's why we divide it by 60 because 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So the answer is 1 and 2 over 5 hours. Okay. Yeah. You can use also the decimal form of this one. I think it is 1.4. Yeah, 1.4. Okay. So do you have any question for this problem? So be careful on this one. If we try to cut a piece of wood into n number of sections, so the number of cut will be n minus 1. Okay. So now we proceed to problem number 4. Okay. So it is a word problem. So there are some chickens and goats in a farm. So the number of chickens is 5 times the number of goats. So they have 168 legs in total. So how many chickens are there? So what do you think is the answer? Okay. Some of you answer 60 chicken. Okay. So we're looking for the number of chickens. Okay. So let's try to answer this one. So we have, so since we're given 168 legs in total, so we divide this one into what? 2 times 5 plus 4. What is the meaning of this one? So since the number of chickens is 5 times the number of goats, okay? So that's why we have this one is 12. Then we have, since this 12 is the number of goat, okay? Then since we're looking for the number of chicken, so we have to multiply it by 5 since the number of chickens is 5 times the number of goats. So 12 times 5 is equal to 60. So the answer for this problem is 60. Okay. I think most of you got it correct. So do you have any question? So don't worry, if every problem, I just only explain the solution because it is just a review. Okay. So now we proceed to problem number 5. Okay. So according to the pattern shown below, so how many the symbol are there in the 500 group? What do you think is the answer? So for this one, you have to determine the pattern. Okay. So most of you answer 501. Okay. So we have this one, the first group, we have one symbol. The second group, we have three. The third group, we have four. Then the fourth group, we have five. Okay. So what is the pattern, by the way? So the pattern for this one, so for the first group, we have one. In the second group, we have three. In the fourth group, we have four, and so on and so forth. Okay. So meaning in the 500 group, so as what you can see, the following group just add one. Okay. So in the 500 group, so we have 500 plus one. So the answer is 501. Okay. So very good. I think most of you got it right. Okay. So now let's proceed to problem number 6. So find the average of the following sequence: 15, 20, 25, 30, up until 215, 220, and 225. So what do you think is the answer? So we have most of you answer 120. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, the answer is 120. So we have, what do you call in this one? This is the formula of this one we use is the sum of an arithmetic series. Okay. As what you can see, this one form an arithmetic series. Okay. So if we try to review the formula for the sum of the arithmetic series, it's just the first term plus the last term divided by 2. Okay. That's why the answer is 120. Okay. Very good. So now we proceed to problem number 7. Okay. So find the value of these terms. Okay. Do you think is the value? So what you can see, we have this one, then we have the last term of subtracted to 1010 over 1019. So what do you think is the answer? Okay. Okay. Can you show your answers? Some of you answer 1035 over 2038. Okay. Okay, let's see. So first, so we have to write this one. Okay. And also, this term, we can write this term as, for example, 1 over 2 times 3. So we can write that term into 1/2 minus 1/3. The same for this term, 1 over 3 times 4. So we can rewrite that one into 1/3 minus 1/4, so on and so forth. Same with this one. Okay. So what have you noticed? So we can cancel out many terms, right? So for example, we can cancel out the negative one third and one third, and also we can cancel out the negative 1 over 1018 by to 1 over 1018. Okay? If we try to cancel that out, the remaining term will be 1 half. Then the last two, we have the 1 over 1019 minus 1010 over 1019. Okay? So if we try to evaluate this one, so we will have 8 over 1019 plus 1 half. Okay? So if we try to evaluate again, so we have this one, 16 plus 1019. So the answer will be 1035 over 2038. Okay? Do you have any question? Can we write 1035 over? Yeah. The answer is 1035 over 2038. Okay. So if there's any simplified form of this one, you can also write that one. Okay? But I think it doesn't have any simplified form for this one. So do you have any question?
No.
Thanks. Do you understand the solution?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So let's proceed to problem number 8. So I think we have 30 problems for this mock review. So find the value of the following. 4 minus 11 plus 19 minus 27 plus 35 up until 171 plus 179 minus 187 plus 195. So what do you think is the answer? Excuse me, sir. Does our answers always have to be simplified? Okay, for that question, your answer need to be simplified as always. Okay. So for example, if that certain fraction has a simplified form, so you need to simplify that one. Okay. So what do you think is the answer for this problem? 20. Okay. So let's try to answer this one. So for this one, we have to group. Okay. So we have to group the terms that, let's say, for example, the 11 and 19, we have to group that one. So it will be 19 minus 11. And also this one. So we have 35 minus 27. Also this one. Then this one. Okay. So what is the purpose of grouping those terms? So we can have we can form a same terms of all these group terms. Okay. So we have 8. Okay. So if we try to count this one, we have 12, 8. Okay. 12 number of 8. So for this technique, we can easily evaluate compare to do you call that? Compare to the manually evaluation of this one. Okay. So just simply 12 times 8, then plus 4. So we have answer of 100. Okay. Yeah. The answer is 100. How do you get 20, by the way? Can someone explain how do you get 20? Or do you find something wrong with your solution? Okay. I accidentally grouped the wrong number. Okay. So do you understand the solution? So the correct answer for this one is 100. Okay. You just simply group these terms. Okay. For you to get uh same terms. Okay. At least you know that at least you know the correct answer for this problem. Okay. So do you have any question? None? Do you understand the solution?
Yes, understand.
Okay, very good. So we can now proceed to problem number 9. So kindly take note of this one for you to review after our session. Okay. So find the value of this term. So we have 4 and 1 over 6 times 8 plus 16 and 2 over 3 times 2 plus 8 and 2 over 12 times 8. So what do you think is the answer? You can type your answer in a chat box. So your answer is 132. Most of you answer 132. Okay. So let's see. So this should be the solution. So for this one, you can group all the whole number. Okay. This one. So we have 4 times 8 plus 16 times 2. Yes, there's someone raising his hand. Yes, Nguyen Ken. Do you have any question? You can unmute your microphone if you have a question. How about Kwangdang? Yem do Kwangdang. Okay.
Or not, I'm not have a question. No, I'm not on the question.
Okay. So for this one, the answer is 132. So if you have any more technique on solving this one, then you still have the same answer. So it is also a good solution or a good technique. Okay. So for this one, I have this technique. Okay. So do you have any question?
No.
No. Okay. So let's proceed to problem number 10. So how about this one? How to get the value of 2,319 times 1,860 minus 2,320 times 1,859. So most of you answer 460. I think that's the right
With me.
answer. Okay. So let's see. So for this one, actually we can use again the grouping. So we have to group this one and also this one. Okay. So if we try to expand this one, so we can have 2,320 multiplied by 1,860 minus 1,860. Okay. So if you try to simplify this one, you will come up to this one. Okay. So the same with this one. So we have 2,320 multiplied by 1,860 minus 2,320. Okay. So still the same. If you try to simplify this one, you will come up with this one. Okay. Then after that, we can now cancel out those term na with the same value but different operation. Okay. Like this one and this one. Okay. So the remaining value will be 2,320 minus 1,860. Okay. So we have the final answer of 460. Okay. So you can do it manually actually, but this one is another technique for you to have an easier way of solving this one. Okay. So do you have any questions? Okay. Sorry. So I forgot to edit this one. The answer is 460. Okay. So don't be confused with that one. Okay. I think that's the answer for the previous question. I forgot to edit that one. Okay. So there are some student who raise her hand. Do you have any question? None.
None.
Okay. So let's proceed to problem number 11. How about this one? How to get the value of this one? So we have 6,400 divided by 1 minus 6,400 divided by 2 minus 6,400 divided by 4 minus 6,400 divided by 8. So what do you think is the answer? 800. Okay. So let's see. So for this one, so if we try to simplify each term, so if we try to use the MDAS, okay, so we have to evaluate first the division, okay, so we have 6,400, we have 3,200, then 6,400 divided by 4 is equal to 1,600. Then we have 6,400 divided by 8 is equal to 800. So if we try to evaluate this one, so we have 6,400 minus 5,600. That's why we have a final answer of 800. Okay, I think most of you got it right. So now we proceed to, I do you have any question for this one? I think it's so easy for you. Okay. So now we proceed to problem number 12. How about this one? How do you get the value of this one? Do you have any technique? 4 times 44 times 444 times 4,444. So many 4. What do you think is the answer? Okay. I think most of you got the same answer. Hmm? So how do we solve this one? Yes, Nguyen Ken. You want to answer this one? Are you raising your hand?
I'm just multiply it. I'm just calculate it, not use any method.
Okay. You just solve it manually. How about the other? Do you have any technique for this one? Or someone who wants to show his her solution with your classmates? Or I will be the one. Okay, think I will be the one. Okay, in solving this one, actually, you can rewrite this term into this one. Okay, so we have 4 times 4. Let's say 4 is just 4 times 1, right? Then the 44 is just 4 times 11. And also 444 is just 4 times 111. And also 4,444 is just 4 times 1,111. Okay? So if we multiply this 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, so we have 256. And if we try to multiply this one, so we have 1,356,531. Okay? So if we try again to multiply this one, so we have 347,271,936. Okay? So that will be the answer. So do you have any question? None. So now we proceed to the number theory. So problem number 13. Okay. So the remainder of positive integer a is divided by 16. Divided by 16 is 5. So what is the remainder of 3a minus 7 divided by 3? So what do you think is the answer? So there are some question here. I think, uh, wait a minute. So do I need to put the answer as 347 million with comma or just 347 million without comma? So it can either both. Okay, you can use comma or it can be without comma. Okay, or the separator. But for me, if I suggest it, much be better if you put the separator or the comma. Okay. So for this problem, so if we try to have, we have 3a minus 7, which means if we divide it by 3, so we have 3a minus 7 is equal to 3 times a minus 3 plus 2. Okay? This plus 2 will be the remainder. Okay? We just simply evaluate this one. So we rewrite this one into a form of this one. Okay? So we have, when we say 3 times a certain term, meaning it is divisible by 3. But if we have to add some number here, plus 2, meaning this plus 2 will be the remainder. Okay? So the answer is 2. Yeah. You don't, I will have an example. You don't need the remainder. Yes. So there are some problem. Yes, Pierre Bonnet, do you have any clarification or solutions?
No, teacher, I have a question. Like,
Yes.
how do we get plot two?
How do you get plus 2?
Yeah, it's behind in minus three.
Yeah. For this one, we rewrite the term 3a minus 7. Okay. For example, I will try to annotate. Okay. So for example, this one, if we try to if we try to distribute 3, we have 3a. Okay. We have 3a, then minus 3 multiplied by negative 3, we have 9, right? That's why we have plus 2 for we to have the 3a 3a minus 7, which is the same with this one. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so if we have this one means that this number is divisible by 3. Okay, since we multiply it by 3. But since we're looking with the remainder, since if after we rewrite this one, we have an extra plus 2. Okay, so meaning this will be the remainder. Okay. So are we clear into that? Am I answer your question? Yay, Bunimiat.
Yes, teacher. I understand
Okay.
now, and thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. This help me. I can't hear anything. Do you hear me? There's some of your classmate doesn't hear me. Yeah, you just try to rejoin, I think, or reconnect your headphone. Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. So the answer for this problem is 2. Okay. So any more questions before we proceed to problem number 14?
I have a question.
So
Yes.
for this question, we don't use the data like integer a divided by 16 is 5.
Yeah. Yes. There's some part of the question that you don't need to.
Okay, thank you.
It is somehow a brain twister. Okay. So do you have any more questions? So be careful on that. There are some question that there are dummy, what do you call that? Dummy given. Okay. There are some question that there are dummy given, meaning those given are those givens are useless. Okay. So be careful on that. So now we proceed. Okay. Problem number 14. So if a 9-digit number, so we have this 9-digit number, 2239 A6428 is divisible by 9 and A must be greater than 5. So find the value of A. So what do you think is the answer? So for this one, you need to review your divisibility rules. Okay. So what will be a number that is divisible by 9? Okay. So most of you answer 9. Okay. So for this one, if we try to have divisible by 9, so it must be all, if we try to add all the digit, it must be also divisible by 9. Okay. So if we try to add all the numbers, including the A, so we have 36 plus A, right? So for this one, 36 is already divisible by 9. So meaning we can assume that A is equal to 0. But according to the problem, A must be greater than 5. That's why we reject the 0. So now we proceed to the 9. So 36 plus 9, we have 45. 45 is also divisible by 9. So that's why the value of A must be 9. Okay. Okay. Very good. So be careful. Be careful in this condition. So we have the A is greater than 5. So we must not accept 0. Okay. Because 0 is less than 5. So do you have any questions? None? Do you understand our solution? Okay. So now let's proceed to problem number 15. So we're halfway done. So find the last digit of this uh term. So we have 12 times 16 times 19 times 22 and so on and so forth up until 49. Okay. So we're looking only for the last digit. Okay. We're not looking for the overall product. So most of you answer 6. There's some answer 1. Okay. Let's see what is the correct answer. Okay. So for this one, actually, we can rewrite this one up to this one. Okay. So we have the 2 times 6 times 9, which is equal to this one. Okay. So we have, if we try to consider only the last digit. Okay. So we have 2 times 6 times 9. So we have the same last digit. Okay. If we try to simplify that one, so the last digit again is 8, 8, 8, 8, right? Then if we have 8 and 8, so the last digit for that one is 4. So meaning 4 and 4. So the last digit for that one is 6. Okay. So the answer is 6. Okay. How do you get to 1, by the way? There's some of you answer 1. Or do you have any miscalculations or in your or there's something wrong in your solution? Okay. So the final answer for this one is 6. Okay. So any questions so far? None. So before we proceed to problem 16, uh, can we have a short break, like 5 minutes? Is it okay? Is it okay with you? We have a 5 minutes break. Okay. So Philippine time is 9:55. So we was come back by 10 a.m. Okay. Philippine time. Okay. So see you by 10 a.m. Philippine time. Thank you.
Teacher.
Có vấn đề đấy.
Teacher.
Nghỉ giải lao hay sao đấy?
I think teacher has a problem.
So, okay, let's proceed. It's already 10 a.m. Philippine time. So now we proceed to problem number 16. Okay. So find the number of all positive factors of 1,875. Oh, the solution is already there. So we have, so do we have the same answer? Yeah, that. Okay. So for this one, you just simply do the prime factorization. Okay. So if we try to determine the prime factors of 1,875, so we have 3 times 5 to the 4. Okay. So in determining all the positive factors, we just simply get the exponent, then plus 1, then we multiply. Okay. So 1 plus 1, then for the 5, we have 4 plus 1. So 2 times 5, we have 10. Okay. So the answer for this one is 10. Okay. So do you have any question? None. So we proceed to the next problem. Problem number 17. So the sum of positive numbers A and B is 406. Then A is 13 times B. So find the value of A. So what do you think is the answer? Okay. So so some of you answered 377. Okay. So for the solution, so we have 406 divided by 13 plus 1 is equal to 29. Okay. So 29 will be the value of B. Okay.
Tôi nghe được không? Không,
Then
nghe
since
nhiều
we're look
nhiều. Dari tin nhắn của mẹ đây này.
so since we're looking for the value of A, so since A is 13 times B, so we have 29 times 13 is equal to 377. So do you have any questions?
Oh,
Do you understand the solution?
yes.
Okay, very good. So now we proceed to problem number 18. So the sum of 10 consecutive numbers is 545. So find the value of the largest number. What do you think is the answer? 59. There's some answer 59. There's some 69. Okay. So let's see. So for this one, we have sum of 10 consecutive numbers is 545. So if we try to multiply 545 by 2, so we have 1090. Then since we have 10 consecutive numbers, so we have to divide it by 10. So we have 109. Okay. So 109, it can be 50 to 59. Okay. So this will be the consecutive number, the 50 to 59. So the answer is 59. Okay. Okay. Do you have any question? So the answer is 59. Or do you have any other solution for this problem? None. So we can now proceed to problem number 19. So how many rectangles containing both two, this one, the asterisk, are there in the figure below? So how do we get the number of rectangles? 30. So most of you answer 30. Okay. So let's see. So the solution will be, so we have 5 times 3 times 2 times 1. So how do we get that? Okay. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3. Then we have 2, 3,
4.
4, and 5. Okay. Then for the other dot, so we have 1, then 2.
2.
Okay. You just simply multiply all the outermost. Okay. So we have 1 times 2 times 3, then times 5. Okay. That's why we have this one. Okay. So the answer is 30. Okay. So any question? None. Okay. So I think most of you got it right. So now we proceed to problem number 20. Okay. So now we go to geometry. I think the previous problem is also a geometry problem. So if the radius of a circle is 6 and the side length of an equilateral triangle is equal to the circumference of the circle, so find the perimeter of the triangle. So answer in terms of pi. Okay. So what do you think is the answer? So again, the the problem need an answer in terms of pi. Okay. So you don't need to simplify the pi. Okay. We all know that pi is equal to 3.14. Okay. So for this problem, so this will be the solution. Okay. So we have 3 times 2 times 6 times pi. Okay. So since we have a radius of 6 and the side length of an equilateral triangle is equal to the circumference. Okay. So the circumference is just pi d. Okay. Yeah. The circumference is equal to pi multiplied by the diameter. Okay. Or we can use also, since the diameter is just 2r, so we can use 2 pi r. Okay. Then since this one is the circumference, then we're looking for the perimeter of the triangle. Okay. So since it is equilateral, so what do you mean by equilateral? All sides are equal. Okay. So since the circumference of the circle is equal to the side length of the triangle, so meaning the side length is equal to the circumference. Okay. Then the perimeter of the triangle is equal to 3 times the side length, which is equal to the circumference. Okay. That's why we have this one. So the answer is 36 pi. Okay. So do you have any questions?
Yesterday when I did the mock test, I cannot write the answer is 36 pi because like the website cannot use the math time.
Okay. You can write actually pi, pi, if you don't have
Okay.
any symbol for the
Okay.
pi.
So
You can
for
use
the
pi.
can I ask you a question? Like for the answer is fraction. Can I write just like if I cannot using the math type to write the answer, how can I write the answer as the fraction?
Fraction.
No,
If
P.
for example, there's some problem that they stated the value of the pi. For example, this one, pi is 22/7, for
Mình
example.
sẽ đỡ lỡ miệng.
You can use this one actually if the problem stated this one. But in this problem, since you need to write the answer in terms of pi, so you don't need to use the fraction.
Vitamin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, am I answer you right? Or did I answer your question, Marie Curie? Okay. So now we proceed to next problem. Okay. So how about this one? How many rectangles are there in the figure below? What do you think? Before, how about the other? Do you have any answer for this problem? Can we write 36? You need to write 36 pi, not only 36. Okay? So if we don't have any symbol for pi, you can simply write pi. Pi. Okay? Yeah. 36 pi. Okay. So what do you think is the answer for this problem? There's some 56, 54, 36. Okay. So let's see. So for this problem, you can simply count up the or group. Okay. So for example, this one, wait. Yeah, for example, this one. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Then we have 1 and 2. So if we try to group this one, okay, so we will have the 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 times 1 plus 2, okay? And also this one, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? And also we have, let's say this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So this will be, if we try to group this one, okay, and also this one, we can come up with 1 times 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So since we have 2 common, that's why we have 2 times 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay? Then we need to subtract the overlapping. Okay? So how many rectangle do we have that overlaps? So we have this one, 1, 2, and also 1, 2. Okay? That's why we have minus 2 times 1 plus 2. Okay? Then after evaluating this one, so we have 10 times 3 plus 2 times 15 minus 2 times 3. So the answer is 54. Okay? Do you understand the solution? I think most of you got it right. There's some are able to get the right answer, but you can take note of this one. Okay? So any question? None. Okay. So let's proceed to problem 22. Okay. So it is known that the length of the shortest side and the longest side for a right angled triangle is 5 and 13 centimeter respectively. So find the length of the remaining side. Okay. 12. So what theorem can be used in this problem? So we can use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So for this one, if we try to draw a, let's say, a right triangle. Okay. Okay. So when you say the longest side, so the longest side will be the side that is what? What do you call that? This one, this side, right? This will be the longest side. Okay. Then the shortest or the leg, we have this one. Let's say this one is A and B. Okay. So using the Pythagorean theorem, so we can have C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Okay. This will be the general for the Pythagorean theorem. So for this one, since we have given the shortest side and the longest side, okay, so we can use the Pythagorean directly. Okay. So for this one, we have 13 squared. This one will be, let's say, the remaining side will be the B. So we have to transpose, okay? So C squared plus, I know, minus, sorry. So we have A minus A squared, okay? So we need to get the square root of both sides, okay? So we have B is equal to the square root of C squared minus A squared, okay? So that's why we have this one. So if we try to evaluate, so we have 169 minus 25 is equal to 144. So the square root of 144 is equal to 12. So the answer is 12. Okay.
So do I need to write the unit after the answer?
Yeah. You don't need to write the unit actually,
Okay.
since the given already stated centimeter. Okay. And unless if the question said that find the length in meters, so you need to convert the centimeter into meter. Okay. So any question? None. So proceed to problem number 23. So a rectangle has an area of 192. So if the length and the width of the rectangle are both integers, what is the minimum possible perimeter of that rectangle? What do you think is the answer? 7. There's some answer 64, 56. So we have given the area of a rectangle. So if the length and width of the rectangle are both integers, so what is the minimum possible perimeter? So when we say minimum, so we have to determine the factor of 192 that is closest to each other. Okay. So the closest will be this one, 12 times 16. Okay. So in order to find the perimeter, so we just simply 2L times 2 width. Okay. So we have 12 plus 16 all over, I multiplied by 2. That's why the answer is 56. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
I see the I see the number is integers. Can it negative numbers?
And again.
I see uh the the sign is integer. Can it then the perimeter is the negative numbers?
Okay. So the perimeter cannot be negative. Okay. Since this one is in distance, okay, or the length, okay, it cannot be negative. Consider the positive integers.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do you have any more questions before we proceed?
Teacher,
Yes.
how to know and the length and the width?
Again.
How to know the length and width?
How to know the length and the width?
The length and the width. Can you repeat your question, Nguyen Yen Tan?
Yep. So for example, because the rectangle, so I'm just can found out how many factor of 192 and then divide it to
Okay. So for this one, how to know the length and the width? Okay. So let's say, for example, actually you can interchange the length and the width for this problem since we're only looking for the perimeter. So for example, we have this rectangle. Okay. So let's say this will be the length and this will be the width. Okay. So the area of this one is just equal to length times width, right? Then the perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus 2 times width, right? So what I mean that you can interchange because you can still get the same answer. Okay. The most important in this problem, you know how to get the factors of 192 so that you can get the minimum possible perimeter. Okay? When you say minimum, it is the smallest value you can get from the given area. Since the area is just the length times width. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Are we okay with that? Did I answer your question? So no worries in determining the length and width. Actually, you can interchange those two. Okay. So now we proceed to problem number 24. Okay. Problem number 24. So at least how many pieces can we get if we slice through a cake 6 times? So
I think
what do you think is the answer? Seven. Okay. Most of you answer 7.
my teacher said is a wrong.
Again, what's that? 7. Okay. So we're talking about at least how many
Nói đấy,
pieces?
thấy vậy chưa?
can we get if we slice through a cake 6 times? So for this one, so we just simply, for example, if we slice a certain cake, okay, so we have 1 plus 1. So if we slice it again, we have plus 2. Then we have plus 3 up until 6 times. Okay. Yes, Brian.
Says at least, not at most.
Again.
It is 22 if it is at most. The question said at least.
At least. So when you say at least, it is the least. Okay. So what do you think is your answer? What is your answer, by the way?
7.
7. How do you get 7?
Because it is 6 plus 1. It is not at most. If it's at most, it is 22.
Okay. So do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think there's some uh typo in this one. I think it at most, but don't worry, let me check this one later on. Okay? Okay. So are we okay with that? So let me take note of this one. So this one, so for this one to be correct, the correct term will be at most, right? So thank you for that, Brian. Okay. So do you have any more concern? Yes. So for this one, if at most, the answer is 22. Okay. So for at least, so the answer is 7.
Teacher, why 7?
Again.
Why 7 is at least?
So can you answer, Brian, why it is 7?
Yes, no, it says at least, not at most.
So since you say at most, so the the highest, okay, most, and the least. So for this one, since 6 times, so we can get 6 plus 1. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you for the clarification. I will take note of that one. Okay. So we can now proceed to problem number 25. So we only have 5. So we go to the combinatorics. Okay. So in how many possible ways can 11 identical apples be distributed to 4 distinct baskets, such that every basket contains at least one apple? So what do you think? So what do you think is the answer? 120. Okay. So for this one, since how many possible ways can 11 identical apples be distributed to 4 distinct baskets? So you can use the combination. Okay. So it will be 11 minus 1, then 3 minus 4 minus 1. Okay. So we have 10 times 9 times 8 over 3 times 2 times 1. So we have 10 times 3 times 4 is equal to 120. Okay. So do you have any question? Yes. Audrey Claire C. Do you have any question?
Why is it 10 instead of 11?
So since we're talking about identical distributed into this thing, okay, you just need to subtract it by 1. Okay. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
So do you have any more question? So we have 5 more to go. Okay, problem number 26. So choose 3 digits without repetition from 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9 and combine them to form 3-digit numbers. So how many of these numbers are divisible by 3? Okay. So what do you think is the answer? $60. Okay. Some of you answer 60. Okay. So for this problem, so if we try to get this one, so we have the 129. When you say divisible by 3, it must be the sum of the digit must be divisible by 3. Okay. So let's say consider the 129 combination. So we have 12. The 159 we have 15. The 189 we have 18. And the 258 we have 15. Okay. So for this one, we have 4 different combination. So that's why we have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay. So the answer for this one is 24. So how do you get 60? There are some of you answer 60. So the answer for this one is 24. Okay. So any question? So announcement. So to those students who always spam, again, warning to you, is you have no name in uh your Zoom account. So don't spam. Okay. So again, if you spam again, I will remove you in the Zoom room, okay, or the breakout room, okay. So now we proceed to problem number 27. So numbers are drawn from the 160 integers 31 to 190 at random. At least how many numbers need to be drawn to ensure that there are two numbers drawn whose difference is 22. Okay. What do you think is the answer? What do you think is the answer for problem number 27? 73. Okay. How about the other? What do you think is the answer? 73, 84, 89, 73. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So for this one, we have 160 integers. So we have to divide that one to 22. Okay. So we have 7 remainder 6. Then from that, 22 times 4 plus 1 is equal to 89. So I think uh, so the answer is 89. Okay. So do you have any questions? Or do you have uh, any way of solving this one? So why we multiply by 4? So for example, wait, let me annotate. So we have 31 to 190, right? Okay. Then at least how many numbers need to be drawn to ensure that there are two numbers drawn whose difference is 22? Okay, how do we come up with uh let's say 22 as a difference? For example, we have uh from 31 to 190. Let's say for example 53 53, yeah, 53 minus 31. Okay. Can you explain it again? This one is for sure. So for this one, since we have uh 22, since we have 22 set of 22 numbers, then from 160, diba? 160, we have this one is 160 integers, right? 60 integers, okay? Let me continue this one. So we have, let's continue 54, 54 and 32, okay? And so on up until 190, 190, and what will be the number paired to 190 to get a difference of 22? 100, 168, okay? So for this one, uh, you can simply count up the numbers, or since we're looking for the at least how many numbers, okay? Need to be drawn to ensure that there are two numbers drawn whose difference, okay? And 87. So this one, that's why we have four, since we're talking about two numbers, okay? Two set of numbers, so that's why we have, so two set of numbers, that's why we have all in all four numbers. Am I right? Okay. So yeah. So there are some of you, see, can you show your solution, Mr. Mateo? Yes po siya. Can you tell your classmate how you solve this problem? Mateo? You can on your mic. So, okay, since we're running out of time, we will go back with this one. Okay. So let's proceed to number 28. We will go back later on if we have time. Okay. So problem number 28. How many different ways are there for four children among three boys and three girls queue in a row? So what do you think is the answer? Yes, Nguyen Ken.
Yes.
I
So,
okay.
I'm just how many possible can in how many way to arrange the ball and how many way to arrange the bird. Then I plus it.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Only
your answer, what will be your answer?
one. 30, 36.
Okay. So let me try. Okay. So for this problem, we can use the permutation, by the way. So since we have 4 children, then among them, we have 3 boys and 3 girls. Okay. So we try to have the total. So we have 6 in total. Okay. So 6 permutation 4. So we have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 is equal to 360.
Teacher, why 6 times 5 times 4 times 3?
Again.
Why 6 times 5 times 4 times 3?
Since for this one, the idea of the permutation, if you have 6 permutation 4, so this one, do you call this one? It is a permutation. Okay. So n permutation R. So what will be the formula for n permutation R? Anyone? So the permutation is just n factorial, okay, over the n minus r factorial, okay? So for this problem, since we have 6 permutation 4, okay? So we have 6 factorial, okay? 6 factorial over n minus r, meaning 6 minus 4. That's why we have 2 factorial. Okay. So if we try to expand this one, so we have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Then in the denominator, we have 2 times 1. Okay. So cancel out. That's why we have this one. Okay. You understand? So we have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3. Okay. The answer is 360. Okay. So we have more time. So let's proceed to the next problem. The second to the last, I think. So a group of 15 students are taking photos, 3 students at a time. So each student has to take photo with another 2 schoolmates. So at least how many pictures are there to be taken? So what do you think is the answer? Five, five, okay. 455. Okay. 455, 90. So you have different answers. 455. Okay. So for the solution, so we have simply a 15 combination tree. Okay. So 15 combination tree is equal to 195. Okay. Okay. Sorry. It is 455. Am I right? Wait, let me check. Yeah. It's 455. Sorry for this. Okay. So let me check this one. So this one is 455. Sorry for the typo. Okay. It is 455 plus. Okay. Don't be confused. This is 455. Okay. So any question before we proceed to our last? Okay. Okay, there's someone spamming. Let me. Okay. You proceed to the last problem. Okay. So a flight of stairs has 7 steps. Andy can go up for 1 step and 2 steps each time. So how many ways are there for Andy to go up the stairs? So how do we solve this one? So don't worry, this is last number. Okay? Please don't 21. Okay. So for the solution for this one, so we have 7 steps. Okay. So since Andy can go up for 1 step and 2 steps, so we can simply add every step. Okay. So we have 1, 2, then 1 plus 2 is 3, then 2 plus 3 is 5, then 3 plus 5 is 8, then 5 plus 8 is equal to 13, then 13 plus 8 is equal to 21. Okay, so the answer is 21. Okay, so do you have any question?
Teacher, can you quick go back to the question from 1 to 8? for me to check the answer. Because of internet, so I was late a little bit.
Problem 1 to 8?
Yeah, the problem from 1 to 8. I just quick to check my answer.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So this one, 1 to 8. Okay. So for problem number 1, the answer is 2140. Problem number 2 is 28. Problem number 3 is 1 and 2 over 5. Problem number 4 is 60. Problem number 5 is 501.
Number 2.
Problem number 6 is 120. Number 7 is 1035 over 2038. And lastly, problem number 8 is 100.
Teacher, can you go back problem 1?
Can you go slower?
Again.
Yeah.
Can you go back problem 1?
Problem
1.
1.
Yes.
Problem 1. So the time is we are only up until 11 a.m. This will be the problem 1.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
So don't worry. I will be providing you a solution for the problems. Okay. So for those have questions, okay. So we will provide you also this one. Okay. So we don't have much time. That's all. Okay. So I think that's all. And to those who are not able to cook up some questions, you can review the solutions. Okay. Yeah. We don't have much time. Okay. Sorry for that. And maybe you can go through that. We have the solution. Okay.
Can you
So
go
I
back to
think
question 2?
again. So don't worry, we will provide you this one and the solution. Okay. So I think that's all for today. Thank you for listening and have a good morning. So thank you so much. And I'm really sorry we don't have much time, okay, for some questions. Okay. And good luck in your team. Good luck in your TIMO, and I hope you'll do your best. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations in advance. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Have a good day. Goodbye, teacher.
Bye. Have a good day.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.
My teacher, thank you po.